So good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss shape of s orbitals, p orbitals and d orbitals. So this is the under atomic structure unit 1. So shape of s orbital. The s orbital are spherically symmetrical. I have already discussed in the last video lecture. So s orbital are spherically symmetrical about the nucleus, that is the probability of finding electron is same in all directions. Okay, so s orbital spherically symmetrical, spherically symmetrical, spherically symmetrical, 1s, that's why size small than 2s. So boundary surface diagram for 1s and 2s orbitals. So s orbital spherically symmetrical about the nucleus, that is probability of finding electron, okay, is same in all directions from the nucleus. If it is nucleus, probability of finding electron is same for all directions, everywhere. Size of the orbitals depends on the value of principal quantum number. So size of the orbital depends on the value of principal quantum number. There is one spherically symmetrical orbital. The 1s orbital is smaller than 2s orbital and 2s orbital is smaller than 3s orbital, but all are spherical in shape. Clear? So all are spherical in shape. S orbital spherical symmetrical, but size depends on the value of n, principal quantum number. So 1 is less than 2 is less than 3s. The probability of 1s electron is found to be maximum near the nucleus and decreases as the distance from the nucleus increases. The probability of 1s electron is found to be maximum near the nucleus and decreases as the distance from the nucleus increases. In case of 2s electron, the probability is again maximum near the nucleus and then decreases to 0 and increases again, then decreases as the distance from the nucleus increases. So from the nucleus, I have written twice, from the nucleus mistake. So from the nucleus increases. The intermediate region, a spherical shell where the probability is 0, is called nodal surface, a simple node. So intermediate region, this on the intermediate region, nodal surface. Okay, intermediate region, a spherical shell where the probability is 0 is called nodal surface or simply node. Thus 2s orbital differs from 1s orbital in having one node within it. Similarly 3s has two nodes. Okay, 3s orbital has two nodes. In general, any ns orbital has n minus 1 nodes. So any ns orbital, how many nodes? For 1s, value of n equals to 1, 0. 2s, 2 minus 1, that is 1. 3s, 3 minus 1. So number of nodes, okay, depends on the value of n minus 1. Okay, so the size and energy of the s orbital increases as the principal quantum number increases. That is, size and energy of the s orbital increases. 1s less than 2s less than 3s. So from left to right side increases. Now shape of p orbitals. Okay, so this is the node. Okay, shape of p orbitals. Shape p orbitals are double. P orbitals are dumbbell shape. For p orbitals, L equals to 1. So there are possible orientation as ml value we know. Get 3 value, minus 1, 0, plus 1, minus L2 plus L through 0. So this means that there are 3 p orbitals whose axes are mutually perpendicular. 3 p orbitals, px, py, pz, whose axes are mutually perpendicular. These are designated as px, py, pz in each p subshell. So shape of p orbital are dumbbell shape. For p orbitals, L equals to 1. There are three possible orientation as ml equals to -1, 0, +1 value. This means that there are 3 p orbitals whose axes are mutually perpendicular. These are px, py, pz. Next, move on. However, there is no simple relation between the value of ml -1, 0, +1 and x, y, z directions. The 3 orbitals are equal in size, shape and energy, px, py, z. That's why they are called degenerate orbitals. Degenerate, having size, shape, energy almost equals. So that's why they having same energy. That's why called degenerate orbitals. But their orientation is different. They are equal in size and shape and energy, but their orientation is different. P orbital consists of 2 sections called lobes on the opposite side. Okay, lobes. These are lobes. Lobes. Separated by the nodal plane. This is the node. This is the node. This nodal plane is region. There is 2 lobes touch each other. This is the nodal plane. 2 lobes. This is the 1 lobes, and this is also 1 lobes. This is filled. This is unfilled. So these 2 lobes join each other here. This point is called nodal. Okay. This point is called nodal plane. And this nodal plane is the region there is the 2 lobes touch each other, and probability density is 0. Probability density here 0. Probability density 0. Probability density is 0. So in the right hand side diagram, nucleus is present at the origin. So boundary surface diagram of the 3p orbital px, py, pz. Okay. So that is the nodal plane where 2 lobes touches each other, and probability density is 0. Here probability density is 0. Size and energy. Like s orbital, p orbital also increases in size, and energy with increase in the principal quantum number. Order of size and energy: 4p greater than 3p greater than 2p. So nodes, there are 2 types of nodes. Radial nodes. Radial node is a circular ring that occurs as the principal quantum number increases. Here the number of radial nodes for p orbital is given by n-2 formula. So thus there is no radial nodes in 2p orbitals. Okay. Or number of radial node also calculated by the formula n-l-1. So this is the conventional radial nodes. Simple node n-1. Radial nodes, keep in mind n-l-1 or n-2. So for orbital 2p, radial nodes 0. Orbital 3p, radial nodes equals to 1. Orbital 4p, radial nodes equals to 2. So n-l-1, or using this n-2 formula. So you get radial nodes. Another nodes, angular nodes or nodal planes. This represents the plane passing through the nucleus origins. I have not shown here, where the probability density is 0. So angular nodes are equal to value of L. So this represents the plane passing through the nucleus origin, where the probability density is 0. Angular nodes are equal to value of L. Now come to shape of d orbitals. D orbitals have double dumbbell shape except dz square. D orbitals have double dumbbell shape except dz square, which has baby sugar like shape. It has directional properties. There are 5 d orbitals in a given subshell. As the d orbital corresponds to value of L is 2, and therefore ml value will be -L to +L including 0. That means we get a 5 value, -2, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. You know, during the discussion of magnetic quantum number. So again I tell you, shape of d orbital. D orbital have double dumbbell shape except dz square, which has the baby sugar like shape. It has directional properties. There are 5 d orbitals in given subshell. As d orbital value of L is 2, so therefore ml value will be 5, that is -L to +L 0. So -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. So this is reason no. We have 5 d orbital, dxy, dyz, dxz, and dx square minus y square and dz square. So dz square. These are the 5 d orbitals, whose shape we will discuss in the next slides. So these are the shape of the d orbital getting 5 degenerate d orbitals. Next move on. Okay, you see this is the 5 d orbitals. So dxy, okay, so dxz and dyz and dx square minus y square and dz square. So this one the dz square, this one xz between x and z. So in between x and z, in between xy, x and y, in between x and y, this one, okay, in between x and y, in between y and z, okay, y and z, and dx square minus y square and dz square. These are the shape of the d orbital. So very important shape of d orbital and p orbital. The minimum value of principal quantum number associated with d orbital has to be 3, as the minimum value of principal quantum number for d orbital 3, because if the value of n is 2, we never had 2d orbitals. We never had 2d orbitals. We have had 3d orbitals. So the value of principal quantum number should be 3, as the minimum value of n is 1, which is greater than L value. L value here equals to 2. Now d for the d orbital, L value 2 should be greater than the L value. The 5 d orbitals are designated dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square and dz square. From the diagram, it is clear that the shape of 4 d orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square, are similar. Okay, 4d out of 5. But the shape of dz square is different, as I told in the previous slide. Size and energy. As the principal quantum number n increases, shape remain the same but differ in energy and size. Okay, so size and energy will be, if n value increases, energy will be size and energy. Size also increases. Radial nodes in d orbital n minus 3, or you can use n minus L minus 1. There are two formula. So orbital 3d, radial node equals to 0, n minus 3, 3 minus 3, or n minus L, n is 3, L is 2, so 3 minus 2 minus 1, that is 0. Orbital 4d, radial nodes 1, orbital 5d, radial nodes 2. Okay. Now energy of an electron in a multi-electron atom. So energy of an electron in a multi-electron atom. Now come to this portion. What is the energy of multi-electron system? Atom having the multi-electron. So in case of multi-electron atoms, the energy of an electron depends both on principal quantum number n and also azimuthal quantum number l. It is not I told you several times, this is the L. Okay. If you write in italic style, then you get, it will be very easy to read. Okay. So the energy of an electron depends both the principal quantum number n and azimuthal quantum number l. This means that the energy of electron depends upon the subshell of the principal shell to which the electron belongs. That is, whether the electron is present in sp-df subshell in a given shell, the dependence of the energy of the electron on both n and l value is because, unlike hydrogen atom, in multi-electron atoms, two types of electrical interaction are present. So in multi-electron system, two types of electrical interactions are present, such as attractions between the nucleus and electron of the atom, that is attraction between the nucleus and outer shell electron, and repulsion between the concerned electron and rest of the electrons present in the atoms. Again I tell you, there are two types of interactions: attraction between the nucleus and electron of atom, and repulsion between the concerned electron and rest of the electron present in the atom. That the stability of electron in multi-electron atom is because the total attractive interactions are more than the total repulsive interactions. Okay, now come to skinning effect. Okay, the electrons in the inner cell acts as a screen means prevent or shield, oppose. The electrons in inner cells act as a screen or shield between the nucleus and the electrons in the outermost cell. This phenomenon is known as shielding or skinning effect. As the Slater rules is not included in your syllabus, so sigma, that is shielding constant, can be determined by using Slater rules from this Z effective Z minus sigmas. Okay, forget it. So electron in the inner cell acts as a screen or shield between the nucleus and the electrons in the outermost cell. This phenomenon is known as shielding or skinning effect. Larger is the number of electrons in the inner cell, higher the number of electrons in the inner cell, greater will be the skinning effect. Smaller is the force of attraction, thus decreasing the ionization enthalpy, which is also not included. But ionization enthalpy nothing but it is the amount of energy required to pull out one valence electron from a gaseous atom. So you see here repulsive force electrons, this is the nucleus, okay, this is the inner cell, this is the valence cell, outer cell, here electron resides. What will happen? This is the electrons in the inner cell. So nuclear force of attractions, this is the force of attraction acting towards the nucleus. This is the repulsion force exerted by the inner electron on the valence cell electron. So repulsive force exerted by these inner electrons to the valence cell, these electrons are present in the valence cell. Now come to here, it will be very easy. So this is the nucleus, Zd, proton, neutron. So this is the electrons, outer cell. What will happen? N cell, N minus 1 cell, N minus 2 cell. So this is the inner cell, this one, N minus 1, N minus 2. So force of attraction acting towards the nucleus and outer cell electrons acting towards here. Now electronic repulsions, what will happen? These inner cell electrons, the more number of inner electrons, so more number of electrons present in these two cells, higher will be repulsive. Okay, so higher will be the repulsive force exerted by the inner electrons on the valence electron, that is N cell, this is the valence cell. Okay, so that is the electron repulsion, this is also the electron repulsion. So if more number of electrons present in N minus 1, N minus 2, which is inner cell, so what will be? Repulsive force will be more, which is exerted on the valence electrons. So what will happen? The molar will be the force of attractions decreasing the ionization enthalpy. So valence cell electrons suffer force of attractions due to the nucleus and force of repulsions due to inner cell electrons. So force of repulsion occurs or exerted by the presence of inner electrons. Okay. Now the decrease in force of attractions on valence electron due to the inner cell electron is called skinning effect or shielding effect. So total repulsive force is called shielding effect. Okay. So that is the skinning effect. So this is very important. I have shown here with help of two diagram. Okay. So this is very clearly mentioned here. If you go through, it is very vivid to you. Now effective nuclear charge, which is denoted Z effective. Due to skinning effect, valence cell electron experiences less force of attractions. So these valence cell electron experience what? Less force of attractions. Why? Because these electrons, inner electrons, exerted more repulsive force on the valence electrons. Okay. So that's why Z effective equals to Z minus sigma, you know, Z is atomic number, sigma is shielding constant, and Z effective nuclear charge. So therefore we can say that with increasing value of azimuthal quantum number, L, azimuthal quantum number L, the shielding effect decreases. Therefore the effective nuclear charge experienced by the outer electrons increases. So effective nuclear charge expressed by the outer cell electron increases when the azimuthal quantum number value increases, L value, because S, skinning effect of S higher than P, than D, than A, is very close to nucleus. So scaling effect of S higher than P and DF. So if you increase the value of atomic quantum number L0S, L1P, L2P, so then the effective nuclear charge experienced will be by outer shell electron increases. Okay. Next, move on. Energy of electron depends upon the subshell in which it depends, in which it is present. Okay. So energy of electron depends upon the subshell in which it is present. Higher the proximity of electron to the nucleus, greater will be the attractive force between the nucleus and electron, lesser will be the energy. Therefore, the energy of electron depends both on the value of N and L. So energy of electron depends on both value of N and L. So energy of orbital is given by Bohr-Bury rules or simply N plus L rule. So energy of the orbital is given by Bohr-Bury rule or simply N plus L rule. So energy of an orbital is determined by N plus L rule as explained below. But the orbital with lower N plus L value, has lower energy. For example, 4s and 3d orbitals. For 4s, N value is 4, L value for S 0, so N plus L 4. But for 3d orbital, N value is 3 and L value is for d orbital L equals to 2, so 3 plus 2, that is 5. So lower energy will be 4s compared to 3d. So electron will go first 4s then 3d. So that's why 4s orbital comes first then 3d. So thus 4s orbital has lower energy than 3d orbital, hence are filled fast. Okay. Now filling of orbitals in atoms. The atom is built up by filling the electrons in various orbitals. Let us study the rules of principle that have been laid which determine how electrons are arranged in an atom. So first principle, there are three principles: above principle, Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule. On the basis of three principles, we can fill up the electrons. Okay. So first, above principle. The increasing order of energy of a different orbitals belonging to the different main energy levels was given by above principle. Increasing order of energy of different orbitals belonging to different main energy levels was given by above principle. Above is a German expression which means building up or construction. This principle states that electrons are added one by one into the various orbitals in order of their increasing energy, starting with the orbital of lowest energy. In other words, we can say that electrons are first occupy the lowest energy orbital. Simple. Electrons are first occupy lowest energy orbital available to them, and only when these orbitals are filled, then only the electrons are filled in the higher energy level. So electron first fill in the lower energy levels. After fulfilling, then you go to the higher energy levels. So for the multi-electron atoms, the following is the increasing order of energy of the orbitals from above principle: 1s, 2s, 2p, first 1s, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s. Okay, now come to this. For n equals to 1, 1s, then n equals to 2, 2s, n equals to 3, n equals to 2, 2s, 2p comes here, this 3s, then 3p, then 4s, okay, then 3d, as you Bohr-Bury rule from n plus l value rule, okay, then 3d, 4p, 4p, 5s, then come to 4d, 5p, 6s, then 4f, 5d, 6p and 7s. So 3d comes n equals to 3. So this is the above energy diagram. So electrons are filled in all the energy level after fill upping of all electrons in that energy level, then electrons are promoted to the higher energy level. So that's why this is the energy filled up sequence: 1s, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, 4s. In this way you can fill up the electrons according to above principle. So for memorizing the above way, we need to keep in mind few things like the number of subcell in a cell is equal to the principal quantum number n of the cell. As for example, with cell with n value and l value has only one gives the order of filling of orbitals, that is starting from right top to bottom left. Okay. The sequence of the energy of the orbital is according to Bohr-Bury rule as discussed before. Okay. So number of cell in a subcell in a cell is equal to the principal quantum number of n cell. Okay. Value of n and l has only the subcell, 1s cell within n value 2 has 2 subcell. And number 2, the direction of the arrows gives the order of filling of orbitals, that is starting from right top to bottom left. So now come to the another principle. This is also very important, Pauli's exclusion principle. These three principles is very important along with examples, explanation. This principle was given by Wolfgang Pauli, 1926. This principle actually excludes the possibility of any two electrons having all the same 4 quantum numbers. So possibility of any two electrons having 4 same quantum numbers, that excluded. So that's why the statement or principle will be simple. No two electrons in an atom can have the same set of 4 quantum numbers. So no two electrons in an atom can have the same set of 4 quantum numbers, because n, l and ml quantum number address a particular orbital. So 4 quantum number ms is required to define the spin of the electron in an orbital. So it can have only 2 possible values, that is either plus half or minus half. Therefore maximum only 2 electrons can be accommodated in atomic orbital, and these 2 electrons must have opposite spin. Moreover, the 2 electrons can have same value n, l, ml, but never same value of ms in the same orbital. This principle helps us to find maximum number of electrons which can be present in a particular subcell. So this only the one orbital, it therefore can hold a maximum 2 electrons. 3p orbitals can hold maximum 6 electrons. 5d orbital can hold maximum 10 electrons. 7f orbital can hold maximum 14 electrons. In a nutshell, we can say that maximum number of electrons is the cell principal quantum number n is equal to twice n square. Already I have discussed. Now come to examples. Oxygen 1s2 2s2 2p4, 1s deciding 2 electrons, 2s deciding 2 electrons, 2p first one, then 2 3 again, then pair up px py pz, px py pz, 3p orbitals. So n value here n equals to 1, here n equals to 2, here n equals to 2. L value for s 0, for s 0, for p 1. M value for this 0, for this 0, for this px py z, we know minus l to plus l through 0, so plus 1, 0, minus 1. Okay. Now s value for this plus half, minus half, for this plus half, minus half, for this orbital plus half, minus half, but for this orbital plus half, for this orbital plus half. So there are 4 quantum numbers value is not same. 4 quantum number value is not same. Okay. So one will be different. 3 may be same, but 1/4 will be different. So I have mentioned here through these very interesting examples. So you can understood from these examples n value corresponding this orbital 1 0 0, but plus half, minus half. Okay. Similarly this orbital 2 0 0 plus half, minus half. This orbital 2 1 plus 1 plus half, minus half, but this orbital, but n equals to 2 1, but 0 plus half. Here n equals to 2 1 minus 1 plus half. Okay. So that is the Pauli's exclusion principle. From this Pauli's exclusion principles, no two electrons in an atom can have same set of 4 quantum numbers. So here we didn't get any same set of 4 quantum numbers. Next, move on. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. The rule deals with the filling of electrons in the equal energy degenerate orbitals of the same subcell. This rule says that no pairing of electrons starts. No pairing of electrons starts in any of the degenerate orbitals like p orbital, px, py, pz, like d orbital, until all the orbitals of the subcell contains 1 electron each with parallel spin of same spinor. As for example, each of 3 p orbital of the p subcell gets 1 electron of the parallel spin before any one of them receives second electron of opposite spin. So I have mentioned clearly, this rule deals with the filling of electrons in equal energy, that is degenerate orbitals of the same subcell. This rule says that no pairing of electrons starts in any of the degenerate orbitals until all the orbitals of the subcell contains 1 electron each with parallel spin. As for example, each of the 3 p orbitals of the p subcell gets 1 electron of parallel spin before any one of them receive second electrons of opposite spin. Explanation of Hund's rule: the electrons are first singly occupied so as to result in the maximum number of unpaired electrons, which in turn gives maximum multiplicity. This rule is obeyed so as to give the stable arrangement of electron. Stability is achieved by minimum repulsion. So electrons repel each other as they are identical in charge. If electrons are filled according to this rule, then two electrons move as far apart as possible by occupying different degenerate orbitals. This arrangement of electrons leads to minimum repulsions and maximum stability. Electronic deconfiguration of atoms. Electronic configuration is the distribution of electrons into different cell, subcell and orbitals in an atom. The rule which we studied for the filling of electrons helps in writing the electronic configuration of different atoms. There are two different ways of writing the electronic configuration of different atoms. Okay, first one is to the power A, P, B, D, C notations and orbital notations. So SP, S to the power A, P to the power B and D to the power C type notation. In this type of notation, the subcells are represented by their respective letter symbol. S is written for the subcell with L value 0, P is written for the subcell L value 1, and the notation letter ABC represents number of electrons present, ABC number of electrons present in the various subcell. For a complete electronic configuration, principal quantum number is written before the respective subcell. Principal quantum number should be written before the subcell. Electronic configuration of sodium 1s1 is principal quantum number. First you write down principal quantum number, then you cell and superscript the number of electrons 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Okay, so orbital notation is here S 1 orbital p, 3 orbital px, py, pz degenerate orbitals, d orbital 5 d orbital degenerate orbital, dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square, dz square. Okay, so this is the orbital notations and this is the SPD subcell notations, where power A, B, C nothing but a number of electrons. So before writing electronic configuration, we should write first the value of principal quantum number, then you write down the subcell, then you write down the number of electrons. As you know, S orbital contain maximum 2 electrons, P orbital contain maximum 6 electrons and D orbital contain maximum 10 electrons. Okay, so you should, before, in case of degenerate P and D orbital, you should first fill up the electrons singly 1, 2, 3. If fourth electron then comes pair up, 5 comes here, for 6 electrons. So according to Hund's rule, in case of 5 d orbital 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If 6 electrons then you pair up. Otherwise 5 electrons there will be single electron according to Hund's rule. So that is the orbital notations. S, P, D, S 1 orbital, P 3 orbital, D 5 orbitals, and also SPD notations. In these two way you can write 1s2, that is 2 electron, p 2 4 6, because sorry 1s2, again s2, then 2p6, here 6 electron, okay, again 3 s orbital contain 1 electrons. Okay, I hope you are enjoying this video. Thanks for watching this video.